Chapter Steps of Hindu Philosophic Thought, Part 4. In the Vedas, there is no mention of hell, but our Purans, the latter books of our scriptures, thought that no religion could be complete unless hells were attached to it, and so they invented all sorts of hell. In some of these, men are sawed in half and continually tortured but do not die. They are continually feeling intense pain, but the books are merciful enough to say it is only for a period. Bad karma is worked out in that state, and then they come back on earth and get another chance. So, this human form is a great chance. It is called the karma body in which we decide our fate. We are running in a huge circle, and this is the point in the circle which determines the future. So, this is considered the most important form that there is. Man is greater than the gods. So far, with dualism, pure and simple. Next comes the higher Vedantic philosophy, which says that this cannot be. God is both the material and the efficient cause of this universe. If you say there is a God who is an infinite being, and a soul who is also infinite, and a nature which is also infinite, you can go on multiplying infinites without limit, which is simply absurd. You smash all logic. So, God is both the material and the efficient cause of the universe. He projects this universe out of Himself. Then, how is it that God has become these walls and this table, that God has become the pig and the murderer and all the evil things in the world? We say that God is pure. How can He become all these degenerate things? The answer is just as I am soul and have a body, and in a sense, this body is not different from me, yet I, the real I, in fact, am not the body. For instance, I say I am a child, a young man, or an old man, but my soul has not changed. It remains the same soul. Similarly, the whole universe, comprising all nature and an infinite number of souls, is as it were the infinite body of God. He is interpenetrating the whole of it. He alone is unchangeable, but nature changes and soul changes. He is unaffected by changes in nature and soul. In what way does nature change? In its forms, it takes fresh forms. But the soul cannot change that way. The soul contracts and expands in knowledge. It contracts by evil deeds. Those deeds which contract the real natural knowledge and purity of the soul are called evil deeds. Those deeds again which bring out the natural glory of the soul are called good deeds. All these souls were pure, but they have become contracted through the mercy of God, and by doing good deeds, they will expand and recover their natural purity. Everyone has the same chance and in the long run must get out. But this universe will not cease because it is eternal. This is the second theory. The first is called dualism. The second holds that there are God, soul, and nature, and soul and nature form the body of God, and therefore these three form one unit. It represents a higher state of religious development and goes by the name of qualified monoism. In dualism, the universe is conceived as a large machine set going by God, while in qualified monoism, it is conceived as an organism interpenetrated by the divine self. The last are the non dualists. They raise the question also that God must be both the material and the efficient cause of this universe. As such, God has become the whole of this universe and there is no going against it. And when these other people say that the God is the soul and the universe is the body, and the body is changing but God is changeless, the non dualists say all this is nonsense. In that case, what is the use of calling God the material cause of this universe? The material cause is the cause become effect. The effect is nothing but the cause in another form. Wherever you see an effect, it is the cause reproduced. If the universe is the effect and God the cause, it must be the reproduction of God. If you say that the universe is the body of God and that the body becomes contracted and fine and becomes the cause, and out of that the universe is evolved, the non dualists say that it is God Himself who has become this universe. Now comes a very fine question. If this God has become this universe, you and all these things are God. Certainly, this book is God, everything is God. My body is God, and my mind is God, and my soul is God. Then why are so many jivas? Has God become divided into millions of jivas? Does that one God turn into millions of jivas? Then how did it become so? How can that infinite power and substance, the one being of the universe, become divided? It is impossible to divide infinity. How can that pure being become this universe? If he has become the universe, he is changeful, and if he is changeful, he is part of nature, and whatever is nature and changeful is born and dies. If our God is changeful, he must die someday. Take note of that. Again, how much of God has become this universe? If you say x, the unknown algebraical quantity, then God is God minus x now, and therefore not the same God as before this creation, because so much has become this universe.